Okay guys, we are going to make a start with IELTS listening part 1 and there are 10 questions which we are going to solve and I'll play the audio one by one. I'll read the questions one by one so that you guys understand entirely whatever it is. In actual exam, they will not play the audio one by one. For part 1, they will play questions 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 and then questions 6 to 10. In part 2 also, questions 11 to 15 and then 16 to 20. In part 3 also, questions 21 to 26 and 27 to 30. And part 4, they will play all the audio at once, questions 31 to 40. So I've done it all because I need to elaborate certain things so that you guys understand. Anyways, we start with this test. It's listening part 1. Complete the notes below. Complete the notes below means question type is notes completion. Then they say write one word and or a number for each answer. So one word and or a number, answer can be cup, answer can be 2 cups. 2 is a number, cup is a word. Okay, so it can be like that. Well, after that they've written here Buckworth Conservation Group. They have a group that is conservation group. Conservation group is a group that protects the environment. We call it conservation group. Conservation park, conservation wildlife park and all that. A park where they protect the wildlife. Okay, Buckworth is the name of the group. Okay, then they say regular activities. And in regular activities, the first thing is beach. Now, your visualization, your imagination is going to help you a lot. If they say beach, if you imagine beach, you can understand the situation. There they say making sure the beach does not have dash on it. Now, you need to make sure that something is not present on the beach. So, beach does not have dash on it. It can be, for example, beach does not have garbage on it. Beach does not have trash on it, trash, garbage or anything like that. Okay, so this is the first point. Now underline does not have. Does not have. And now you will listen to the audio carefully and they will use synonym of does not have. And that can be anything. For example, if they say make sure the beach does not have garbage or make sure the beach is free of garbage. Make sure there is no garbage on the beach. Free of garbage, no garbage, and all that. Now I play the audio. Please listen and answer question number 1.
You will hear a woman called Jan phoning a man about their local conservation group.
Hello?
Oh, hello. My name's Jan. Are you the right person to talk to about the Buckworth Conservation Group?
Yes, I'm Peter. I'm the secretary.
Good. I've just moved to this area and I'm interested in getting involved. I was in a similar group where I used to live. Could you tell me something about your activities, please?
Of course. Well, we have a mixture of regular activities and special events. One of the regular ones is trying to keep the beach free of litter. A few of us spend a couple of hours a month on it, and it's awful how much there is to clear. I wish people would be more responsible and take it home with them.
I totally agree.
So, litter. Yeah, make beach free of litter. Make free. Now see that this is part 1 and it's complicated. So you need to pay more attention. Sometimes complexities start from listening part 1 as well. How do you spell litter? Double T or single T? Double T. For this one, L-I-T-T-E-R, litter. Now just focus the word make free. I'm playing it again.
You will hear a woman called Jan phoning a man about their local conservation group.
Hello?
Oh, hello. My name's Jan. Are you the right person to talk to about the Buckworth Conservation Group?
Yes, I'm Peter. I'm the secretary.
Good. I've just moved to this area and I'm interested in getting involved. I was in a similar group where I used to live. Could you tell me something about your activities, please?
Of course. Well, we have a mixture of regular activities and special events. One of the regular ones is trying to keep the beach free of litter.
Trying to keep the beach free of litter. So make the beach free of litter means does not have litter. Okay. Huh? Litter is kuda, karkat, okay, garbage. They use three words. One is litter, one is trash, one is garbage. Yeah. Litter and trash, they are British and American. Okay, question number 2, no dash. Now just focus the word no, N-O, no. They can use the word no, they can use the word not. Right? If, for example, they say, if in the audio they say, children are strictly prohibited. What does that mean? No children. If they say children are not allowed, no children. If they say you can't bring children, right? Or make sure you don't bring any child, something like that. So just listen to this thing.
I'd be happy to help with that. Is it okay to take dogs?
I'm afraid not, as they're banned from the beach itself. You can take them along the cliffs, though, and children are welcome.
Right.
So, is it okay to take dogs? I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not is a very polite way to refuse. Can I come with you? I'm afraid not. I'm afraid not. I'm afraid doesn't mean no, it's not that. I'm afraid is a polite way to say no. Okay, so what is the answer? And what about children? They are allowed. Yeah, they said. Listen again.
I'd be happy to help with that. Is it okay to take dogs?
I'm afraid not, as they're banned from the beach.
Okay, so in the question, is it okay to take dogs? I'm afraid not. So that means no dogs. Very good. Okay, next one is nature reserve. And you can see there are 2 bullet points without a question. So you will not read them carefully. You will only skim read and underline a word. For example, in the second one, they use the word nesting boxes. Underline nesting boxes. In the second bullet point, there is the word nesting boxes. So in the audio, when they say nesting boxes, you know audio has reached here. Tracking the audio is very, very important. If you are going on with the audio, you will find the answer. And if you are ahead of the audio or behind the audio, you will never find the answer. Anyways, nesting boxes. Now, question number 3. Next task is taking action to attract. Underline the word to attract. Whatever they use for to attract, right? For to attract, they might use any other word. To attract or to make something attractive. So, to attract dash to the place. Now, they are going to attract the birds, for example. They are going to attract the birds to the place. They are going to attract tourists to the place. Right? For example, they say, we are going to make this place good so that many tourists come here. Many tourists come here means attract the tourists. Okay? So they are going to do it in a way.
We also manage a nature reserve, and there's a lot to do there all year round. For example, because it's a popular place to visit, we spend a lot of time looking after the paths and making sure they're in good condition for walking.
I could certainly help with that.
Good. And we have a program of creating new habitats there. We've just finished making and installing nesting boxes for birds to use, and next we're going to work on encouraging insects. They're important for the biodiversity of the reserve.
They certainly are.
Encouraging insects. Now, what is the word for attract? Encouraging. Exactly. I'm playing this one again. Focus, encouraging, and then there is the
We also manage a nature reserve, and there's a lot to do there all year round. For example, because it's a popular place to visit, we spend a lot of time looking after the paths and making sure they're in good condition for walking.
I could certainly help with that.
Good. And we have a program of creating new habitats there. We've just finished making and installing nesting boxes for birds to use, and next we're going to work on encouraging insects.
Okay, next we are going to work on encouraging insects. Encouraging and attract, they are same words. Let's go on. Question number 4. Identifying types of dash. Underline the word types of and write their species of. As they are talking about animals and birds and all that. Types of, for types of they can also use sort of. S-O-R-T-S. Sorts of. Types of, sorts of, kind of, species of, or anything like that. So let's see. Identifying types of.
Oh, and we're also running a project to identify the different species of butterflies that visit the reserve. You might...
Different species of Butterflies. So different species of butterflies, and here they say types of butterflies. Good. Listen again.
Oh, and we're also running a project to identify the different species of butterfly.
To identify different species of butterfly. Now you understand? Whatever is written before the blank, they use rewording of that, and you'll get the answer. Question number 5. Building a new dash. Now building is related to construction. In IELTS reading and listening, for building they can use the word building, making, constructing, creating, or any other thing. And then they have used the word new. Now always remember, in listening or in reading, whenever they use the word new, they usually replace it. For example, if I say, I'm going to buy another mobile. Another mobile means new mobile. Okay, so they might use the word new for that. And if I say, I'm going to replace my mobile. I'm going to replace my mobile means I'm going to buy a new mobile. Okay, so replace, another, one more, these type of words they use. Now just focus the synonym of new and you will find the answer.
Another job we're doing at the reserve is replacing the wall on the southern side, between the parking area and our woodshed. It was badly damaged in a storm last month.
Okay.
Parking. No, well done. Replacing the wall at the parking side. Please listen again.
Another job we're doing at the reserve is replacing the wall on the southern side.
Replacing the wall on the southern side. So replacing the wall means building a new wall. Now you need to understand this language. Again, language of question booklet you are holding and language of audio. And these two languages are different. Okay, once you understand, you're gonna be fine with it, okay? Let's go on. Forthcoming events. Now, they have some events to come. And Saturday is already written. Forthcoming events, Saturday. Just underline the word car park. Because in the first point, there is no question. When there is a bullet point without a question, just underline an important word there. So we underlined here, car park. Next, question number 6. Walk across the sands and reach the dash. Now listen, you will walk across the sand and reach some place. For example, reach the castle. There is a castle, you will walk across the sand, रेत से गुजर के जाएंगे and you'll reach the castle. So reach the dash means the destination. Okay, or after walking through the sands where you are going to reach, that will be the answer. Say, if they say you will have to walk through the sands and then you will reach the beach. So answer is beach. Okay, and for reach, they will not use reach, they will use any other word. But just keep in mind, after walking through the sands, where will you go? That will be the answer.
Then, as I said, we have a program of events as well, both at the weekend and during the week.
Right. I presume you have guided walks. I'd like to get to know the local countryside as I'm new to the area.
Yes, we do. The next walk is to Ruston Island a week on Saturday. We'll be meeting in the car park at Dunsmore Beach at low tide. That's when the sands are dry enough for us to walk to the island without getting wet.
Sounds good.
The island's a great place to explore.
To walk to the island. To walk to the island means to reach the island. Once you understand this thing, then you will eat IELTS. Okay? You will eat IELTS listening. You say, I'll kacha chaba jaunga, like that. So, to walk to the island and all that. Please listen to it again. I'm playing the audio second time, so guys, you guys make sure. Okay? We got plenty of time.
Then, as I said, we have a program of events as well, both at the weekend and during the week.
Right. I presume you have guided walks. I'd like to get to know the local countryside as I'm new to the area.
Yes, we do. The next walk is to Ruston Island a week on Saturday. We'll be meeting in the car park at Dunsmore Beach at low tide. That's when the sands are dry enough for us to walk to the island without getting wet.
Okay, sand is dry enough for us to walk to the island without getting wet and all that. And they use the word island 3-4 times. You can easily answer. Okay, next question number 7. Take a picnic. Just underline the word picnic. When in the audio they say you can take a picnic, you know they're talking about it. Question number 7. Where appropriate. Wow. Underline the word appropriate. For appropriate, they can use now, I tell you, for appropriate, they usually use the word suitable. Okay, appropriate and suitable. Okay, but now they do one more, they do more things. For appropriate, they can use the word waterproof. Appropriate, for example, if the answer is appropriate coat, for example, they might use the word waterproof coat. Now, waterproof coat means appropriate coat. Okay, so now let's see whatever the other word, this is what we call rewording, paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is the same thing. I say cup and I say a container which holds hot liquids. A container which holds hot liquids, that is also cup. Bottle, a container that holds water. A plastic container that holds water inside. So this is what we call rewording. They do it like that. अगर सीधा सीधा बोलने, IELTS listening is not a problem. उल्टा करके बोलते हैं, अपने अंग्रेजों को भी नहीं आता होगा. वो भी कहेंगे, oh my gosh, is it IELTS? Very difficult, okay? Yeah, even English people cannot get 9 out of 9. Especially in reading. IELTS reading, and sometimes they may be confused in listening also. And speaking, yes, they might get 9. But writing also they will not get 9. Have we ever got 100% marks in Urdu? Never. So how can they get, huh? Okay. All right. Let's see. I'm going to play the audio, so please focus.
It's also an ideal location for seeing seals just off the coast or even on the beach.
Okay, and is there anything we should bring? Like a picnic, for instance?
Yes, do bring one, as it's a full-day walk. And of course, it'll be wet walking across and back, so make sure your boots are waterproof.
I must buy a new pair.
Make sure your boots are waterproof. Waterproof means appropriate. Well done. Boots. B-U-T-S. B-O-O-T-S. Okay. Very good. Boots is the right answer. All right. Okay guys, now we go on woodwork session. They have a session woodwork, very simple, where you learn how to make things out of wood. Woodwork session. Suitable for dash to participate in. Suitable for dash, it means type of participants. The level of competence or anything like that. Suitable for dash to, for example, suitable for children to participate in. Suitable for young people to participate in. Suitable for women. Anything like that. All right, let's see what do they use for that.
Well, I'd definitely like to come on the walk.
Great. Then later this month we're having a one-day woodwork session in Hopton Wood.
I've never tried that before. Is it okay for beginners to take part?
Definitely.
Is it okay for beginners to take part? Definitely. So, suitable for, and what is the word for suitable? Is it okay for beginners to take part? Definitely. Is it okay? Is it okay means suitable. And beginners, how do you spell beginners? B-E-G-I-N-E-R-S. Double N. And over here, if you write single N, I've noticed one thing. They are making it more complicated. The words like litter. Many people are not even familiar with the word litter. And beginner. Now they are using, we call them confusing words. Words with confusing spelling. Now usually beginner, when you write beginner, you only know begin and ner. So you will write with single N, but single N answer is wrong. So they're making it more confusing by using such type of words. Okay, beginners is the right answer. Making dash out of wood. Underline the word out of. आज IELTS को बेनकाब कर दूंगा मैं. Okay? Listen, whenever they use the word out of plastic, out of wood, they, for example, if let's select the name bottle. Okay, they say we'll make a bottle out of wood. For that in the audio they will use the word wooden bottle. What will they say? Wooden bottle. If they say we'll make a bottle out of plastic, for that they use plastic bottle. Plastic bottle. Okay. If they say we'll make a cup made of ceramics, so ceramic cup. Ceramic cup and all that. Clear? Now let's start. Question number 9. You should see what are they going to make.
I'd love to be able to make chairs.
That's probably too ambitious for one day. You'll be starting with wooden spoons. And of course, learning how to use the tools.
All right. Zarani बहुत तेज है कहती मैं पहले दिन ही कुर्सियां बनावांगी. Okay. She said I would like to start with chairs. Right? So what is the answer? Spoons. And they use the word wooden spoons. See that? Wooden spoons and spoons out of wood. I play this one again. Listen to her. पहले दिन ही कुर्सियां बनाएंगी.
I'd love to be able to make chairs.
That's probably too ambitious for one day. You'll be starting with wooden spoons. And of course, learning how to use the tools.
Okay, you would be starting with wooden spoons. So spoons out of wood. Answer is spoon. S-P-O-N-S. Well done. See again confusing thing. Spoons. Yeah. Huh? Cheers was a trap. Yeah. He said that's too. And one more thing. You can learn very good sentences from part 1. As he said, that's too ambitious for one day workshop. I mean, you can pick up these sentences and speak in your IELTS speaking and get your desired band, okay? Let's go on. Question number 10. But before that, we've got 17th and time and all that. Cost of session, no camping. This is how they trap you. Now, they will tell you 2 costs. One cost with camping and second cost without camping. And it is also possible they will tell you third cost also. Now, what will be your answer? Cost without camping. And they've used the word no. For no, they might use the word without. Or if you don't want to take camping, then it will cost you. And can you see one thing? Pound sign is given. Now they will give you currency sign. So you don't have to write currency. And one more thing I would like to tell you. If they say 10 pounds 50, you will write it as 10.50. If they say it will cost you 21 pounds 85. 21 pounds 85. What does that mean? 21.85. So whenever they use currency in the middle and there is a number before and after, replace that currency into a dot. If they say it will cost you $10.89. $10.89. What does that mean? 10.89. $10.89. Good. So let's see what is the cost of the session.
When is it?
It's on the 17th from 10 a.m. until 3. There's a charge of £35, including lunch, or £40 if you want to camp in the wood.
I should think I'll come home the same day. Well, I'd certainly like to join the group.
So, 40 pounds, well done. Who said that? एक ने सही आंसर दिया, बाकी सारे दोबारा सुनिएगा, ठीक है? एक ने सही आंसर दिया, बाकी सारे पागल हो गए ने. Please listen.
When is it?
It's on the 17th from 10 a.m. until 3. There's a charge of £35, including lunch, or £40 if you want to camp in the...
40 pounds if you want to camp. So 35, no camping, right? 35, and if you want to go for camping, then it is more. So answer is 35, and you will write 35 as a number. Now listen, IELTS listening part 1 can be confusing. And by the way, if the first question you fail to answer, you will take a very bad start. You will be just like this, oh my God, pehla hi miss ho gaya. Okay, so be extra careful, and you need to practice from such type of books where they have used a variety. And they have used the words which are confusing words for non-native speakers. Words like litter and then beginner. So these words are confusing words for non-native speaker. They check your spelling as well. Otherwise, IELTS listening is not meant to check your spelling. It is not a spell checker thing. They usually write simple words because they have to check your listening and understanding. But now there are some complicated words, so you need to be careful. Thank you. All right, now, multiple choice questions. If you are afraid of multiple choice questions, what can I do? No. Let's come again. If you are afraid of multiple choice questions, please follow me. And the next 4 questions in the next 8 to 10 minutes will give you very clear understanding for multiple choice questions. Without multiple choice questions, you can never get 8 band, 8.5, 7, 7.5, because in part 2 and part 3, there will always be multiple choice questions. Part 1 is for one word only. Part 4 is for One word only, but part 2 and 3 are two parts of IELTS where you have to just select ABC. A, B, C, A, B, C, D, E, or anything like that. So multiple choice questions are the part of it. Multiple choice question has two parts. One is the question statement and one options. They discuss all the options. They speak about two options negatively or oppositely, and they speak about one option positively, and that is your answer. And do not expect that in the audio they will speak about A first, then B, then C, kithe gayi C, like that, okay? They may start from C, then they go to option A, then they come to option B. So you need to first catch the option which is being discussed. And after that you need to decide, is this the right one or is this the trap one? I tell you. Question number 11. What is the maximum number of people who can stand on each side of the boat? This is a boat. What is it? पागल हो गया, boat थोड़ी है तो stand है. All right, okay. So this is a boat. What is the maximum number of people which can stand on each side of the boat? This side and this side. Maximum. For example, 9, 15, or 18. So maximum number of people which can stand, who can stand on each side of the boat. Very simple. Option A, 9. Option B, 15. 15 nahi 15. Option C, 18. Yeah. Three things you always enjoy in your mother tongue. Number 1, ginti, counting. Number 2, Gana, songs. Number 3, gali. Like that, okay? So gali you enjoy in Punjabi. You know, mothers, they're very sophisticated. Urdu. Beta, aap idhar aa jaye. Idhar aate nu main dassa. Sara din tang karde rehte ne, uske baad ek gali bhi aati hai. All right. So anyways, question number 11.
You will hear a tour guide, Lou Miller, speaking to a group of people about a boat trip they are going to take around the Australian island of Tasmania.
So, hello everyone. My name's Lou Miller, and I'm going to be your tour guide today as we take this fantastic boat trip around the Tasmanian coast. Before we set off, I just want to tell you a few things about our journey. Our boats aren't huge, as you can see. We already have 3 staff members on board, and on top of that, we can transport a further 15 people, that's you, around the coastline. But please note, if there are more than 9 people on either side of the boat, we'll move some of you over. Otherwise, all 18 of us will end up in the sea.
9. He said, otherwise, all 18 of us will end in the sea. Ke sare hi samundar che dig jaenge. And you know, his name is very interesting. Lou. Okay, that's right. So what is the answer? 15. No, 18. He said all 18 of us will end in the sea. Yeah. On each side, 9. And he said otherwise we'll have to shift some of you here to balance the boat. So correct answer is 9. And you noticed they discussed 9, 15 and 18. So it's not that you hear 9 is the answer. No, you got to make sure whatever they say about 9, about 15, about 18, what's the correct one. Okay? Just let's listen to it again.
You will hear a tour guide, Lou Miller, speaking to a group of people about a boat trip they are going to take around the Australian island of Tasmania.
So, hello everyone. My name's Lou Miller, and I'm going to be your tour guide today as we take this fantastic boat trip around the Tasmanian coast. Before we set off, I just want to tell you a few things about our journey. Our boats aren't huge, as you can see. We already have 3 staff members on board, and on top of that, we can transport a further 15 people, that's you, around the coastline. But please note, if there are more than 9 people on either side of the boat, we'll move some of you over. Otherwise, all 18 of us will end up in the sea.
Okay? Alright, question number 12. What color are the tour boats? Now listen, again they will confuse you. What color are the tour boats? And by the way, you know, when we talk about the color of tour boats, that's the color we see from outside. Okay, now if they say our tour boats have got brown seats, so is the color of tour boat brown? No, brown is the color of seats. If they say our tour boats are light green from inside, is that the color? No, the color from outside that matters. Now the color of seats will be a trap. The interior color will be a trap. Only you need to look for exterior, right? I just play this.
We've recently upgraded all our boats. They used to be jet black, but our new ones now have these comfortable dark red seats and a light green exterior in order to stand out from others and help promote our company. This gives our boats a rather...
चुप कर जा. Yeah? Jet black. Good, jet black. मैंने खुद सुना है, अल्लाह की कसम मैंने सुना है. They said, no, they said used to be. Used to be hundiyan si, okay? Hua karti thi. So used to be, right? Jet black. And then the seats are dark red. So correct answer is light green, but on your answer sheet, what will you write? C is the right answer. Let's listen to it again.
We've recently upgraded all our boats. They used to be jet black.
They used to be. Past tense, okay? Because question is, what color are the tour boats? R means present. If the question was, what color were the tour boats? Then you could write jet black, okay? Yeah.
But our new ones now have these comfortable dark red seats.
Now the new ones have comfortable dark red seats.
In red seats and a light green exterior.
Light green exterior. Very good. Okay, let's go on. Question number 13. Which lunch box is suitable for someone who doesn't eat meat or fish? What do we call the person who doesn't eat meat or fish? Vegetarian. So they have 3 lunch boxes. Now you will look for a lunch box which does not contain any type of meat or fish. That will be the answer. For example, to say lunch box 1, we've got very delicious vegetables and you can also enjoy chicken. Will that be the answer? No. Lunchbox 2. Well, this is very good for someone who likes to eat salad and we also have fish. No. So lunchbox without fish or any type of meat. And for meat, okay, so correct answer is option B because of cheddar cheese. Option A is wrong because of ham and tomato. Option C is wrong because of tuna. Question number 14. What should people do with their litter? You know litter, 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter. No? What is litter? Garbage. Litter is garbage or trash. So what should people do with their litter? Now, by the way, if you didn't find the spelling of litter correctly, you can write it from here. Okay? Go back to question number 1. Question number 1, that is litter. So you can just do it like this. All right. What should people do with their litter? Take it home. Like they'll say, you should keep your litter in your bag and take it home. Apna kuda, apne ghar. Good. Option B, hand it to a member of staff. If they say, one of us will collect it from you and put it in a big bag. One of us means member of staff. And option C, put it in the bins provided on the boat. If they say on the boat we have large dust bins, you can put your litter over there. And if they say unfortunately we don't have bins in our boat, so you should keep your litter with you and when you go back you can put it in an appropriate place or anything like that. So let's see, question number 14.
I'm sure I don't have to ask you not to throw anything into the sea. We don't have any bins to put litter in, but Jess, myself or Ray, our other guide, will collect it from you after lunch and put it all in a large plastic sack.
B, hand it to a member. Jack, this or that will collect it from you and put it in a large sack. So B is the right answer. Okay. Alright, let's go on. एक क्लास हम लगा रहे हैं, क्लास उधर लगी हुई है. Yeah? तू A पे फोकस करेया कर. Questions 15 and 16. This is what we call double multiple choice. Have you watched that movie Double the Trouble? Yeah, so this is double multiple choice. Now on तुसी वड्डे हो गए हो. Out of 5 you will select 2. Before that, out of 3 you selected 1. So listen, method is same, mechanism is same. Questions 15 and 16. Choose 2 letters A to E. Which 2 features of the lighthouse? Do you know lighthouse? Yeah, old times they used to have lighthouse for navigation and all that. So which 2 features of the lighthouse does Lou mention? You know Lou? Yeah, tour guide. Yeah, Lou. Loo. Oh gosh. Loo is another word for washroom. Yeah, in British English, they use the word loo. I had a British friend, Stella, and once she came to my house and he said, where is the loo? Where is the loo? Loo means washroom. So actually his name is Lou. His name is washroom. All right. Okay. Okay. Huh? I knew that. I said just go that way. Look at him, huh? You're underestimating me. What was my answer? Where is the Lou? Yeah, it's nice. We eat it sometimes. It's good. Tomato ketchup, Lou, very tasty. Okay, yeah, Lou, Zira plus. All right. Okay, choose two letters A to E. Which two features of the lighthouse does Lou mention? Listen now. Two features he is going to mention, and those two features are given here positively. Other three features he will mention them negatively. Now I tell you what is positive, what is negative. A, why it was built. If he says, we still don't know the purpose of building this lighthouse, will A be the answer? No. If he says, we still don't know why this lighthouse was built, will A be the answer? No, because he said we don't know. And if he says, well, this lighthouse was built for navigation purpose, so it means he's speaking positively. So again, I'm telling you, everyone, please focus now. Right? Chai ka sip baad mein lein. Which two features of the lighthouse? Two features, and he will speak about them positively. B, who built it? If he says, even today it is unknown that who built this lighthouse. And if he says, this lighthouse was built by King Alfred or whatever. C, how long it took to build. If he says it took around 50 years to complete this lighthouse, then it is the answer. But if he doesn't tell how long did it take to build the lighthouse, it's not the answer. Who staffed it? Who staffed it means the people who are doing job there, who are they? For example, if I say this lighthouse is staffed by ex-military officers, right? Managed by or staffed by ex-military officers. What does it mean? Who staffed it means ex-military officers are working there. So if in the audio they tell us about the staffing, if they say all the staff members are ex-military officers, then this is the answer. And if he says we don't know, it's not that. Option E, what it was built with. What is that? Material. If he says it was built with stone, it was built with concrete, it was built with iron or anything like that, okay? Now, another problem, they will discuss all 5 options, but they will not discuss them in order. So just listen carefully and see what is the answer. And this time you will tell me the answer at the end of the audio when audio stops. So 15 and 16.
The engine on the boat makes quite a lot of noise, so before we head off, let me tell you a few things about what you're going to see. This area is famous for its ancient lighthouse, which you'll see from the boat as we turn past the first little island. It was built in 1838 to protect sailors, as a number of shipwrecks had led to significant loss of life. The construction itself was complicated, as some of the original drawings kept by the local council show. It sits right on top of the cliffs in a very isolated spot. In the 19th century, there were many jobs there, such as polishing the brass lamps, chopping firewood, and cleaning windows that kept lighthouse keepers busy. These workers were mainly prison convicts until the middle of that century, when ordinary families willing to live in such circumstances took over.
So, how many of you say A, B, C, D, E? Well done. Correct answer is A for apple. Why it was built? He said to protect the sailors. I'll play it again. He used the word to protect the sailors. Okay, then the next correct answer, who built it? They don't mention. How long it took to build? He just built it. He just said it was built a century ago or something like that. But he did not mention the duration. Okay, and then they said who staffed it. Now this is the second correct answer because he said the staff members, they were prison convicts. You know what is a prison convict? The prisoners, they are given some jobs. Like from one of the neighboring countries, I saw some people working in Pakistan. From one of the neighboring countries. I don't want to name that country. And then they told me that these people who are making roads, road construction in Gilgit-Baltistan, they said these people are prison convicts. Like they were punished for 10 years and 8 years and 20 years and now they are brought here and they are working all that. Okay, so we call them prison convicts, Kedi. Right? And then what it was built with, material, they did not mention. Now please listen again carefully.
The engine on the boat makes quite a lot of noise, so before we head off, let me tell you a few things about what you're going to see. This area is famous for its ancient lighthouse, which you'll see from the boat as we turn past the first little island. It was built in 1838
Okay, it was built in 1838. Now, how long it took to build? No. He said it was built in 1838. Point of time is mentioned, period is not mentioned. So C is not the right answer.
protect sailors, as a number of shipwrecks.
Okay, to protect sailors. That is option A. Where is it? Gosh.
The engine on the boat passed the first little island. It was built in 1838 to protect sailors, as a number of shipwrecks had led to significant loss of life. The construction itself was complicated.
The construction itself was complicated, but they didn't mention the material with which it was built.
Some of the original drawings kept by the local council show. It sits right on top of the cliffs in a very isolated spot.
Okay, still no mention of who built it.
In the 19th century, there were many jobs there,
Yeah, there were many jobs. Job is related to staff. There were many jobs there.
such as polishing the brass lamps, chopping firewood, and cleaning windows that kept lighthouse keepers busy.
Now,
These workers were mainly prison convicts.
these workers were mainly prison convicts. Now, just remember this word prison convict. Prison convict. Like prisoners, they are taken to construct roads and other stuff like that. Okay, questions 17 and 18. Please come to that. Choose two letters A to E. Which two types of creature might come close to the boat? Two types of creature might come close to the boat. Now, you will go on the boat. If they say, from the boat, you will see crocodiles at the distance. So, they will not come close to the boat. If they say, well, on the boat, you will see sea eagles. They will fly around you. So, sea eagles will be the answer. Now, two animals, because A is sea eagle, B is fur seal. You know seal? It's a sea animal, seal. Option C, dolphins. Option D, whales. And option E, penguins. Now, the animals or creatures which will come closer to the boat will be the answer. And the creatures which you will see at the distance, that will not be the answer. For example, whales. What do you expect? If whales come closer, then the boat is going to capsize or anything like that, okay? So two type of animals which are going to come closer. Please listen carefully. And they will talk about all animals in any order. They will not follow ABC.
Some of you have asked me what creatures we can expect to see. I know everyone loves the penguins, but they're very shy and unfortunately tend to hide from passing boats. But you might see birds in the distance, such as sea eagles, flying around the cliff edges where they nest. When we get to the rocky area inhabited by fur seals, we'll stop and watch them swimming around the coast. They're inquisitive creatures, so don't be surprised if one pops up right in front of you. Their predators, orca whales, hunt along the coastline too, but spotting one of these is rare. Dolphins, on the other hand, can sometimes approach on their own or in groups as they ride the waves beside us.
Okay, B and C. Well done. Fur seals pop up and all that, and then dolphins. And penguins are shy. They don't come. Sea eagles you'll see at the distance. Good job. Please come to questions 19 and 20. Choose two letters A to E. Which 2 points does Lou? Yeah. Which 2 points does Lou make about the caves? Like sounds like, the typical word for Lou is Baitul Khala. Just imagine someone's name is Baitul Khala. Okay. All right. Which 2 points does Lou make about the caves? Now, what are the points about? Caves. They will talk about caves. Imagine caves, gufa, ghar, and all that. Okay, option A, only large tourist boats can visit them. Now, if in the audio he says, we'll go there in small tourist boats, or you can go there in small tourist boat or canoe. Canoe is a small boat. Option B, entrance to them are often blocked. If he says entrance to them, what do they mean by them? Caves, well done. So if entrance to them are often blocked, it is the right answer. But if they say entrance is always open, there is no problem, then this is not the right answer. C, it is too dangerous for individuals to go near them. Near them means near the caves. And if he says you can go near them on your own, or later on you can go there on your own, it is quite safe. So this is not the right answer. Just understand how they speak oppositely or negatively. Option D, someone will explain what is inside them. If they say a tourist guide will explain what is inside them. And if they say you can go inside and see what are the things there. Right? Option E, they cannot be reached on foot. They means caves. Caves cannot be reached on foot. And if he says from there we'll take you to the caves on foot. Or if they say, we'll walk to the caves after that. Walk to the caves means you'll walk it. So again, focus opposite or negative. Let's start.
Lastly, I want to mention the caves. Tasmania is famous for its caves, and the ones we'll pass by are so amazing that people are lost for words when they see them. They can only be approached by sea, but if you feel that you want to see more than we're able to show you, then you can take a kayak into the area on another day, and one of our staff will give you more information on that. What we'll do is to go through a narrow channel past some incredible rock formations, and from there we'll be able to see the openings to the caves, and at that point we'll talk to you about what lies beyond.
Alright, correct answer is B and C. Okay guys, now please listen carefully. The correct answer is option D. Someone will explain what is inside them. And for someone he said tourist guide. Okay? And then option E, they cannot be reached on foot. Now I'm going to play the audio once again and I will stop where there is the right answer and where there is the wrong answer. Please be with me.
Lastly, I want to mention the caves. Tasmania is famous for its caves, and the ones we'll pass by are so amazing that people are lost for words when they see them. They can only be approached by sea.
They can only be approached by sea. Option E, they cannot be reached on foot. They can only be approached by sea means they cannot be. See how clever they are. How complicated they make IELTS for us. So they cannot be reached by, they can only be reached by sea का मतलब क्या है? They cannot be reached on foot. So first correct answer is option E. Now please come to option A.
But if you feel that you want to see more than we're able to show you, then you can take a kayak into the...
You can take a kayak. Now kayak, you don't know this word. See that? They check your high level English. Kayak is a small boat. You can check on YouTube. Kayak is a small boat and you can take it on your own. And they also, have you seen? Yeah, I tell you. Sometimes you see there is a boat, a long one, and one person is rowing that only. That is what they call kayak. So just write kayak and you will see all this thing. Yeah, so they said only large boats can visit them. No, kayak is a small boat that can go there. So A is not the right answer. Now please come to option B.
Area on another day, and one of our staff will give you more information on that.
Okay, that is option D. One of our staff will give you more information on that. That is someone will explain, but let's go on.
What we'll do is to go through a narrow channel past some incredible rock formations, and from there we'll be able to see the openings to the caves.
Okay, we'll be able to see the openings to the caves, but they did not say entrance to them are often blocked. Openings we will see, but they did not say they are blocked. So B is not the right answer. Now,
And at that point, we'll talk to you about what lies beyond.
okay, at that point, we will talk to you what lies beyond. That is option D. Someone will explain what is inside them. What is inside them means what lies beyond. What lies beyond के उनके अंदर क्या है, right? Practice कीजिएगा, don't worry. Initially, these things look difficult, but gradually, they'll become easier. Thank you. Okay, guys, now we have listening part 3. Work experience for veterinary science students. Veterinary science students are animal doctors. Okay? Part 3, listening, work experience for veterinary science students. Veterinary science students are animal doctors, so work experience for them and all that. Question number 21. What problem did both Dan and Tim, Diana, not Dan, huh? Yeah. What problem did both Diana and Tim have when arranging their work experience? Now listen. When they were arranging their work experience, both of them had one problem. Now listen carefully. There are 3 options. One problem, option A, can be individual problem. And other person will say, I didn't have that problem. Another problem will be, like for example, there are 2 characters, Diana and Tim, 2 characters. So one character will describe a problem, other will say, I didn't have this problem. Second character will describe a problem, first will say, I didn't have this problem. And the third problem, one person will describe and second say, I also had the same problem. I also had the same issue. I also came across this thing. So where they agree, that will be the answer. Where they say, I had the same issue. Right? You know, like you say, mere piche kutta pe gaya si, mere bhi. So answer is kutta pe gaya si, yeah? If IELTS is in Punjabi, it's gonna be so interesting. All right. Question number 21. Please listen.
You will hear 2 veterinary science students called Diana and Tim discussing their work placements and their course modules.
So, Tim, we have to do a short summary of our work experience on a farm.
Right. My farm was great, but arranging the work experience was hard. One problem was it was miles away and I don't drive. And also, I'd really wanted a placement for a month, but I could only get one for 2 weeks.
I was lucky. The farmer let me stay on the farm, so I didn't have to travel. But finding the right sort of farm to apply to wasn't easy.
No, they don't seem to have websites, do they? I found mine through a friend of my mother's, but it wasn't easy.
No.
Okay. Now they agreed on the last point they made, and that was option A. Making initial contact with suitable farms. Right? It wasn't easy. They don't have website. I contacted one through my friend. Now listen. About driving, one had the problem, second said, मैं ते farm te so jandi si. Something like that, okay? She used to sleep there. Organizing transport to and from the farm, that was not the problem of both. Option C, finding a placement for the required length of time. One said, I wanted to go for a month, but they gave me 2 weeks. But other said, I didn't have any problem with that. Please listen, write down a code. B, लिखें, इसके आगे लिखें, B, C, A. B, C, A. Now this is the order of the audio and it will not be the same in every question. Okay? Don't say sir ne code bataya BCA. Okay? Not everywhere. This is only for question number 21. Okay? Please listen again.
You will hear 2 veterinary science students called Diana and Tim discussing their work placements and their course modules.
So, Tim, we have to do a short summary of our work experience on a farm.
Right. My farm was great, but arranging the work experience was hard. One problem was it was miles away and I don't drive. And also, I'd really wanted a placement for a month, but I could only get one for 2 weeks.
I was lucky. The farmer let me stay on the farm, so I didn't have to travel. But finding the right sort of farm to apply to wasn't easy.
No, they don't seem to have websites, do they?
I found mine through a friend of my mother's, but it wasn't easy.
No.
Alright, it wasn't easy. No means yeah, exactly. Okay, question number 22. Tim was pleased to be able to help. Now, Tim was happy that he helped. Option A, lamb that had a broken leg. There was a lamb, it had a broken leg, and Tim helped that lamb. Okay, option B, sheep that was having difficulty giving birth. Okay, and option C, newly born lamb that was having trouble feeding. Okay, now Tim was pleased to be able to help. Out of three situations, in two situations, for example, lamb that had a broken leg. They say once there was a lamb with broken leg, and for that we called the doctor. So Tim helped there? No, that will not be the answer. If you say sheep that was having difficulty giving birth, and then we called someone, or the farmer did that himself, or anything like that. Now where Tim helped, that will be the answer. Where Tim didn't do anything, that will be the trap. Let's see.
My farm was mostly livestock, especially sheep. I really enjoyed helping out with them. I was up most of one night helping a sheep deliver a lamb.
On your own?
No, the farmer was there, and he told me what to do. It wasn't a straightforward birth, but I managed. It was a great feeling to see the lamb stagger to its feet and start feeding almost straight away, and to know that it was okay. Then another time, a lamb had broken its leg, and they got the vet in to set it, and he talked me through what he was doing. That was really useful.
Okay, A, B, C. Alright, write down a code. B, C, A. Wow, second time same code. B, C, A. So answer is C. Good. कितने लोग कह रहे हैं? माशाल्लाह, very good. Answer is A. Good. And जो गलत आंसर लिखता है वो ऐसे बैठता है. मैं IELTS करना है. या मैं बाहर जाना है. ओके, डबल कॉन्फिडेंट. और जिस बेचारे ने यहाँ पे बी लिखा है, कितनों ने लिखा है? सी फ्यू पीपल. यू आर राइट. आई विल एक्सप्लेन वाई. जो सही लिखते हैं ना वो बेचारे नुमाने होके बैठे होते हैं, बिकॉज मेजॉरिटी इज अथॉरिटी. ओके, लिसन नाउ. आई विल प्ले इट अगेन. टाइम है ना सबके पास? कहे हाँ, कोई नो कहे, डंडा ले आओ थे. या
My farm was mostly livestock, especially sheep. I really enjoyed helping out with them. I was up most of one night helping a sheep deliver a lamb.
On your own?
No, the farmer was there.
Okay, helping a sheep. I was up helping a sheep deliver a lamb. On your own? No, the farmer was there. It means they did both. And listen.
And he told me what to do.
He told me what to do. So he actually did that. B is the right answer. Okay? Yeah, he became that midwife for the lamb and the sheep. Let's go on.
It wasn't a straightforward birth, but I managed.
I managed. So he helped. Right? Now, please come to option C. Newly born lamb that was having trouble feeding. Listen.
Lamb would birth, but I managed. It was a great feeling to see the lamb stagger to its feet and start feeding almost straight away.
Lamb stagger to its feet and start feeding straight away. Lamb did it on its own. He didn't help the lamb. Yeah, that, oh, mera bachcha doodh pee le and all that. Okay, he didn't do anything. The lamb just drank it itself. Now please come to option. Okay, now please come to option A. Lamb that had a broken leg. Is it okay now? Yeah, it's okay, it's working. Yeah.
And to know that it was okay. Then another time, a lamb had broken its leg, and they got the vet in to set
They got the vet. Vet means veterinary doctor. They got the vet. So vet helped there. And then he says,
it. And he talked me through what he was doing.
he taught
That
me
was
through
really
what
useful.
he was doing. That was really useful. Okay, now please come to question number 23. Diana says the sheep on her farm. Now they are talking about the sheep on her farm. Option A were of various different varieties. Now if she says on my farm there was just the one species of sheep, then A is not the right answer. What is A? Various different varieties. If she says different kinds of sheep, then this is the right answer. Option B were mainly reared for their meat. So those sheep were reared for their meat. If she said they were reared for their milk, then this is not the right answer, okay? And option C, had better quality wool than sheep on the hills. So if better quality wool, C is the answer. If they were reared for their meat, B is the right answer. And if they were various kinds, then A is the answer. And opposite of various kinds is one kind. Opposite of for their meat is for their milk. And opposite of better quality of wool is normal or not good quality of wool and all that. Now please listen and give me correct answer.
Yes, my farm had sheep too. The farm was in a valley and they had a lowland breed called Suffolks, although the farmer said they'd had other breeds in the past.
So were they bred for their meat?
Mostly, yes. They're quite big and solid.
My farm was up in the hills, and they had a different breed of sheep. They were Cheviots.
Oh, I heard their wool's really sought after.
Yes, it's very hard wearing, and they use it for carpets.
Right.
C. Well done. Excellent. Mashallah. Very good. Question to padho kya hai? Diana says, whatever the Munda says, ignore that. Whatever Kudi says, pick up that. और life में भी यही करना है. Yeah, मुंडियां दे आंखें नहीं लगना. So what is the right answer? A is were of various different. You guys are not getting. Please pay attention. अगर मैं घर से पढ़ के ना हूं तो मैं भी नहीं बता सकूंगा. Okay, but I studied all these things. Listen now.
Yes, my farm had sheep too. The farm was in a valley and they had a lowland breed called Suffolks.
They had a lowland breed called Suffolks. Listen now.
Although the farmer said they'd had other breeds in the past.
The farmer said they'd had other breeds in the past. So they had only one breed. What is here? Were of various different varieties. No. Opposite is one breed. So A cannot be the answer. Now listen on.
So were they bred for their meat?
Mostly, yeah.
Were they bred for their meat? Mostly, yes. Were they bred for their meat? Breed for meat, bred for meat. So that is option B. And she said yes. Okay, now, you know.
Solid.
My farm was up in the hills, and they had a different breed of sheep.
Yeah, because we don't need to listen to him. We just have to focus on Diana. Yeah, Diana or Diana. Question number 24. What did the students learn about adding supplements to chicken feed? You know chicken feed? Chicken feed, right? And they add some supplements to that. So what did the students learn about adding supplements to chicken feed? Option A, do you know chicken feed? मुर्गियों को जो दाना डाला जाता है, that's called chicken feed. And adding some supplements, कि उसके साथ ये भी डाल दो, मुर्गियाँ अंडे देंगी और all that stuff, yeah. These should only be given if specially needed. Underline only be given if specially needed. Now they say if chicken has the deficiency of vitamin A, B, C, then it should be given, right? Otherwise not. Option B, worth paying extra for the most effective ones. If they say it is quite expensive and they don't say worth paying means कोई मसला नहीं जितने मर्जी पैसे लगा दो like that, okay? Worth paying extra for the most expensive ones. Option C, amount given at one time should be limited. Amount of chicken feed should be limited, right? So let's see.
I was interested in the amount of supplements they add to animals' feed nowadays. Like, even the chickens got extra vitamins and electrolytes in their feed.
Yes, I found that too. And they're not cheap. But my farmer said some are overpriced for what they are. And he didn't give them as a matter of routine, just at times when the chickens seemed to particularly require them.
Yes, mine said the same. He said certain breeds of chickens might need more supplements than the others, but the cheap and expensive ones are all basically the same.
So, well done. A is the correct answer and the audio went like CBA. Please listen again. I'll stop there.
I was interested in the amount of supplements they add to animals' feed nowadays.
Okay, I was interested in the amount of supplements and all that, but they did not talk about it should be limited.
Like, even the chickens got extra vitamins and electrolytes in their feed.
Yeah.
Extra vitamins and electrolytes. That is the opposite of limited. So it's not C. Now please come to option B.
Yes, I found that too. And they're not cheap. But my farmer said some are overpriced for what...
Okay, they are not cheap, some are overpriced. Overpriced means expensive. But they are not saying it is worth paying it. If the farmer said they are overpriced, it means that they are not worth paying, worth giving extra for that. Okay, now please come to option A.
They are. And he didn't give them as a matter of routine.
He didn't give them as a matter of routine. Now, didn't give them as a matter of routine means if specially needed. Exactly.
They are. And he didn't give them as a matter of routine, just at times when the chickens seemed to particularly...
Okay, just at time when chickens seem to. So option A, these should only be given if specially needed. Please come to question number 25. What happened when Diana was working with the dairy cows? Othe ki chanchadya. Okay, what happened when Diana was working with dairy cows? A, she identified some cows incorrectly. She identified cows incorrectly. Identified cows mean this is one breed of cows, this is another breed. So she identified them incorrectly. Option B, she accidentally threw some milk away. उसने दूध ही गिरा दिया. You know, sometimes दूध उबल जाता है, गिर जाता है and all that. She accidentally threw some milk away. And option C, she made a mistake when storing milk. Milk को उसने गलत जगह पे store कर दिया. Now just listen. Option A is identified cows incorrectly. Option B is accidentally threw milk. And option C is made a mistake when storing milk.
So, did your farm have any other livestock, Diana?
Yes, dairy cows. I made a really embarrassing mistake when I was working in the milk shed. Some cows had been treated with antibiotics, so their milk wasn't suitable for human consumption, and it had to be put in a separate container. But I got mixed up, and I poured some milk from the wrong cow in with the milk for humans, so the whole lot had to be thrown away. The farmer wasn't too happy with me.
Okay. C. She put that like some cows were on antibiotics, so their milk was not suitable for human consumption. She put that in the other one. And the farmer was not happy. You understand farmer's language. Yeah? Okay. When he was not happy. Yeah, Punjabis understand that. हाँ? यहाँ पे वही तो बेचते हैं ज़्यादा. Exactly. बेचारा कितना सताया हुआ है. ऐस करके तू कनाडा चला जा. ठीक है? हाँ, इंशाल्लाह. Question number 26. What did both farmers mention about the vets and farming? Both farmers. Both farmers means the farmer of Diana and Tim. Exactly. What did both farmers mention about vets and farming? Vets are failing to cope with some aspects of animal health. Vets are failing. Vets means animal doctors. They are not successful. They fail to do something. Just focus, vets are failing. Option B, there needs to be a fundamental change in the training of vets. Underline fundamental change in training of vets. Vets means animal doctors. And option C, some jobs could be done by farmer rather than a vet. Some jobs could be done by farmer rather than a vet. For example, the basic things a farmer can do, they don't need to call the doctor for that. Okay, now let's see.
I asked my farmer how much he depended on the vet to deal with health problems. I'd read reports that the livestock's health is being affected as farmers are under pressure to increase production. Well, he didn't agree with that, but he said that actually some of the stuff the vets do, like minor operations, he'd be quite capable of doing himself.
Yeah, my farmer said the same, but he reckons vet skills are still needed.
My farmer said the same. Option C, some jobs could be done by the farmer rather than a vet. And what is that job? Minor operations. Listen to it again.
I asked my farmer how much he depended on the vet to deal with health problems. I'd read reports that the livestock's health is being affected as farmers are under pressure to increase production. Well, he didn't agree with that. But he said that actually some of the stuff the vets do, like minor operations, he'd be quite capable of doing himself.
Okay, minor operations, he'd be quite capable of doing himself. And then?
Yeah, my farmer said...
Yeah, my farmer said the same. All right, good. Okay guys, now we have multiple choice questions. For IELTS listening part 2, remember 4 M's. I know sir, I'm telling about part 2, तुसी इत्थे आ जाओ ना. IELTS listening part 2, remember 4 M's. M number 1 is multiple choice. M number 2 is double multiple choice. M number 3 is matching. M number 4 is maps. So for listening part 2, you need to prepare these 4 type of questions. For listening part 3, 2 question types are most important. Number 1, most important, multiple choice. Number 2, second most important, double multiple choice. And number 3, matching. Okay, for part 3, these question types are important. Okay, we'll make prediction as well towards the end. We will just make it, don't worry. Questions 27 to 30. Now please listen, I'll tell you good way to do it. Although this question type is confusing, but you will find what to do and then you will reach there. What opinion do the students give? Underline opinion. Underline students give about each of the following modules. Underline modules on their veterinary science course. So opinion students give on modules. Now can you see opinions A to F and modules 27 to 30. Now by the way, will you read, when they give you half minute to read the questions, will you read modules or will you read opinions? Most definitely. And sometimes they replace it. They will give you opinion as questions and module as options. So you need to read the part which contains information. Opinions contain information. Now please come to that. Option A, I'm reading opinions, please follow me. Option A, Tim found this easier than expected. If he says, I expected it to be very, very hard, but in fact it was quite easy for me. So that is, Tim found this easier than expected. Underline Tim and easier than expected. Okay, in the audio, when they start with medical terminology, so you got to listen carefully. What does Tim say and what does Diana says? What does Diana say? Option B, Tim thought this was not very clearly organized. Now, Tim and not clearly organized. Underline that. Tim, not clearly organized. Option C, Diana may do some further study. Diana and some further study. So Diana do further study or Diana does further study on it. If she says, I will read more about it, I will search on the internet, I'll explore the websites for it. Option D, they both found the reading required for this was difficult. Both found reading difficult. Okay, now they both say, me too. I found it very hard. And the other one says, me too. Or that was the case with me. Like that. Option E, Tim was shocked at something he learned on this module. For shocked, they use the word, I was surprised, I was amazed. I was not expecting that. Something he learned on this module. And option F, they were both surprised. Now both surprised. How little is known about some aspects of this. So they were both surprised that people don't know about it or people have little information about it. Okay. Now, question number 27, medical terminology. And by the way, these words will not be replaced. The words in the question, medical terminology, diet and nutrition, animal disease, wildlife medication, they will not change these words. So this hand, this finger will be on the question. This hand is going to move between the options. Okay. Let's start.
Now we've got to give a bit of feedback about last term's modules. Just short comments, apparently. Shall we do that now?
Okay, so medical terminology.
Well, my heart sank when I saw that, especially right at the beginning of the course, and I did struggle with it.
I thought it'd be hard, but actually I found it all quite straightforward.
I thought it would be hard, but I found it quite straightforward. Option A. What the lady said, she said throughout I was struggling. Right? But Tim said, I expected it to be hard, but it was quite straightforward. So A is the right answer. Listen again.
Now we've got to give a bit of feedback about last term's modules. Just short comments, apparently. Shall we do that now?
Okay, so medical terminology.
Well, my heart sank when I saw that, especially right at the beginning of the course, and I did struggle with it.
I did struggle in it. My heart sank. I did struggle in it. Now listen to him.
I thought it'd be hard, but actually, I found it all quite straightforward.
I thought it would be hard, but I found it quite straightforward. That is option A. Tim found this easier than expected. Expected hard, but he found it quite straightforward. That is easier than expected. So A is the answer for question number 27. Now, question number 28, diet and nutrition.
What did you think about diet and nutrition?
Okay, I suppose.
Do you remember what they told us about pet food and the fact that there's such limited checking into whether or not it's contaminated? I mean, in comparison with the checks on food for humans, I thought that was terrible.
I thought that was terrible. Option C is Diana. No, he said, I thought that was terrible. Option E for elephant. Please come to that. I'll play the audio again. Don't worry, I'll prove it to you that E is the right answer. Option E is Tim was shocked at something he learned on this module. Please focus.
What did you think about diet and nutrition?
Okay, I suppose.
Do you remember what they told us about pet food and the fact that there's such limited checking into whether or not it's contaminated?
Pet food, and there is a limited checking whether it is contaminated or not.
I mean, in comparison with the checks on food for humans, I thought that was terrible.
I thought that was terrible. Means I was shocked. On human food, there are check and balance for contamination. For animal food, there is no check and balance for contamination. So, correct answer is E. You can repeat it at home, okay? Question number 29, animal disease. So, let's see.
I think the module that really impressed me was the animal disease one, when we looked at domesticated animals in different parts of the world, like camels and water buffalo and alpaca. The economies of so many countries depend on these, but scientists don't know much about the diseases that affect them.
Yes. I thought they'd know a lot about ways of controlling and eradicating those diseases, but that's not the case at all.
That's not the case at all. Scientists don't know much about that. Option F. And they were both surprised how little is known about some aspects of this. Please listen to it again. They were both surprised. At the end, they both are going to be surprised.
I think the module that really impressed me was the animal disease one, when we looked at domesticated animals in different parts of the world, like camels and water buffalo and alpaca. The economies of so many countries depend on these, but scientists don't know much about the diseases that affect them.
Yes.
Yes.
I thought they'd know a lot about ways of controlling and eradicating those diseases, but that's not the case at all.
That's not the case at all. They both agree on that. Okay, animal disease. Question number 30, wildlife medication.
I loved the wildlife medication unit. Things like helping birds that have been caught in oil spills. That's something I hadn't thought about before.
Yeah, I thought I might write my dissertation on something connected with that.
Right. So, actually, I was thinking something
I
along the
thought
same
I
lines.
might write my dissertation on something connected with that. Option C, Diana may do some further study. And what is the further study dissertation? I play this one again.
I loved the wildlife medication unit. Things like helping birds that have been caught in oil spills. That's something I hadn't thought about before.
Yeah, I thought I might write my dissertation on something connected with that.
Right. So, actually...
Okay. Thank किसी को जल्दी तो नहीं है अभी? है तो चले जाए. Let's go on. आइल्स की क्लास के लिए टाइम निकाल के आना है और आप लोगों का और कोई काम ही नहीं है. आप लोग तो घर में कितने लोगों को नखरे कितने आप लोगों के हो गए हैं. जरा भी करने कुछ जा दही लाया मैं आइल्स का पेपर सॉल्व करने लग गए हैं. आप ऐसा करें कुछ रोटियां बना दें मैं आइल्स का पेपर सॉल्व कर रही हूँ आप बाजार से ले आए. ठीक है तो आइल्स में ना वो इतना कवर किया हुआ है. संडे ਨੂੰ हस्बैंड मशीन लगाता है उन वॉशिंग मशीन. ओके और वो हस्बैंड को भी होता है ना कि अगर वाइफ कर लें तो फिर दोनों खुश हो जाएंगे हैं. एग्जैक्टली चलें रहने दें छोड़ दें आगे चलते हैं. और पुरानी क्लास में एक हस्बैंड आते थे अपनी वाइफ को बिठा के, साथ उनका बैग पकड़ा होता था ऐसे, आजा कितने बहना इतने बहना, साथ बैग दे के कोई भी चीज़ चाहिए हो मैंने मिस्ड कॉल दे देनी। फिर जब हमारा हाफ टाइम होता था बाहर से कुछ बिस्किट्स ये वो लेके आते थे। तो वो भी एक स्टोरी है। एक सैड स्टोरी भी है कि एक ने अपनी वाइफ को अपने भेज दिया कि अपने पेरेंट्स के घर जाओ, अब जब आइल्स में तुम्हारा बैंड आएगा तो फिर ही वापस आना। हाँ, हंसने की बात नहीं है, मतलब सीरियसली। हाँ, और एक की वो निकाह हुआ था, खाली निकाह था, दैट वाज एट स्टेक बिकॉज ऑफ आइल्स। कि उसने कहा कि तुम इतना बैंड लो, उस बेचारी को इंग्लिश नहीं आती थी, निकाह करके चले गए वापस। फिर जो चले जाते हैं फिर वापस नहीं आते, कोई ना कोई बहाना ढूंढ लेते हैं। तो बहरहाल अगली वीडियो लगानी है, सेक्शन 4 आ गया, पार्ट 4। ओके, नाउ वी स्टार्ट। स्माइल, कम ऑन, हैप्पी। लाओ ओ पाई की होया की गवाच गया गा, कोई गल नहीं, लभ जाएगी। केहो जी सी दब के डब्बी। ओके, डोंट वरी, एक्टिव चुकन्ने होके बैठना है। अगर इस मूड में आ गए तो फिर आइल्स नहीं होगा। पार्ट 3 आपका दिमाग निचोड़ देगा लिसनिंग का, पर पार्ट 4 इज गोना बी गुड। अभी आप देखिए, अभी आपके चेहरे पे मुस्कुराहट आएगी व्हेन यू फाइंड द आंसर्स। आई टेल यू। लेबिरिंथ, लेबिरिंथ इज व्हाट वी कॉल भूल भुलैया। जिंदगी एक भूल भुलैया है, और ये भूल भुलैया शादी के बाद शुरू होती है। Okay, you go from here, there and all that. You know that labyrinth? Sometimes you solve it, there is a game. You have to go from here, there, and you got to reach the center or middle of the labyrinth. So, definition, winding spiral path, you don't need to read it. Question number 31. Now listen. Whatever is written before the blank or after the blank, that will help you find the answer. Number 1. Number 2, IELTS listening part 4 is a lecture, part of a lecture. Audio can be fast, audio can be fluent, because it's a lecture. One person is talking, no dialogue. Dialogues are not usually fast. They are just like one person is talking, other is talking and all that. But over here, one lecturer, he is going to deliver the lecture. So audio can be fast. So the first thing is track the audio. And how to track the audio? With the help of given information in the question booklet. Labyrinth. Question number, first, question number 31. Labyrinths compared with mazes. Another type is maze. Labyrinth compared with mazes. Mazes are type of, underline the word type of. What other words can they use for type of? Kind of, sort of, one of or something like that. Kind of or sort of. Now I play the audio. Whatever they say after kind of, that will be your answer.
Part 4. You will hear an anthropology student giving a presentation on spiral path designs known as labyrinths.
Labyrinths have existed for well over 4,000 years. Labyrinths and labyrinthine symbols have been found in regions as diverse as modern-day Turkey, Ireland, Greece, and India. There are various designs of labyrinth, but what they all have in common is a winding spiral path which leads to a central area. There is one starting point at the entrance, and the goal is to reach the central area. Finding your way through a labyrinth involves many twists and turns, but it's not possible to get lost, as there is only one single path. In modern times, the word labyrinth has taken on a different meaning, and is often used as a synonym for a maze. A maze is quite different, as it is a kind of puzzle with an intricate network of paths.
Maze is quite different, as it is a kind of puzzle. Puzzle. Okay? Kind of puzzle. And one more thing, in part 3, 4, you got to wait for the answer. You are listening and all that. Okay, listen. Singular, plural. Now listen carefully. If after the blank there is a verb, for example, dash are, now you must write puzzles. If they write dash have, now you must write puzzles. If they say dash were, now you write puzzles were. And if they write is, has, was, then you will write. If this is the case, then they are sensitive about singular and plural. Otherwise, they are not. Okay, yeah, they accept singular or plural answer. Okay, now question number 32. Dash is needed. Dash is needed. Now they can use before using a puzzle, you need dash. Dash is needed to navigate through a maze. So what is needed to navigate through a maze? That will be your answer. For example, anything they can say.
Mazes became fashionable in the 15th and 16th centuries in Europe and can still be found in the gardens of great houses and palaces. The paths are usually surrounded by thick, high hedges so that it's not possible to see over them. Entering a maze usually involves getting lost a few times before using logic to work out the pattern and find your way to the center.
Before using logic to find your way and all that. So logic is needed. Please listen again, this last part.
Paths are usually surrounded by thick, high hedges so that it's not possible to see over them. Entering a maze usually involves getting lost a few times before using logic.
Before using logic. Getting lost a few times before using logic. So logic is needed to navigate through a maze. Question number 33. The word maze is derived from a word meaning a feeling of dash. Underline the word feeling of. In IELTS, for feeling, they use the word emotion. In IELTS, for feeling, they use the word state. S-T-A-T-E. You know, you use the word state of mind. Okay, so feeling, emotion, state, whatever they say, and all that. And the question is, maze is derived from a word, and the meaning of that word is actually this.
There are lots of dead ends and paths which lead you back to where you started. The word maze is believed to come from a Scandinavian word for a state of confusion.
Scandinavian word for a state of confusion. Feeling of confusion, state of confusion. And by the way, over here, preposition of will also help you. In part 4, preposition is very helpful. They usually use the same preposition or different one. So the answer is confusion. K-O-N. All right. Yeah, I know. You are intelligent people. Question number 34. Labyrinths represent a journey through life. They have. What do they mean by they? Labyrinths. Okay. Labyrinths have frequently been used in dash and prayer. Look here. Answer will come with prayer. Whatever they say before or after prayer, that will be your answer. Let's see.
Labyrinths, on the other hand, have a very different function. Although people now often refer to things they find complicated as labyrinths, this is not how they were seen in the past. The winding spiral of the labyrinth has been used for centuries as a metaphor for life's journey. It served as a spiritual reminder that there is purpose and meaning to our lives, and helped to give people a sense of direction. Labyrinths are thought to encourage a feeling of calm, and have been used as a meditation and prayer tool in many...
See that before that many words came, but those words came without prayer. Meditation and prayer tool. So answer is meditation. M-E-D-I-C-A-T-I-O-N. Medication or meditation. And again you notice one thing. They are using pair of words. Meditation, medication. You understand the difference? Meditation is you ponder over, and medication is medicine. So they are giving words like that so that you get confused and 4 or 5 answers should be wrong. No 8 bend should come and all that. Yeah. This is very serious thing I noticed about this book. Okay, let's go on. Question number 35. Early examples of labyrinth spiral. Ancient carvings on dash. Listen, carvings on dash means material. For example, carvings on marble. You know marble, and they do carvings on wood, on tiles. Exactly, they do carving on wood, on marble, on tiles and all that. So ancient carvings on dash have been found across many cultures. So answer is going to be material on which there were carvings. So let's see.
The earliest examples of the labyrinth spiral pattern have been found carved into stone, from Sardinia to Scandinavia.
Have been carved into stone. So carvings on stone, carved into stone. Stone is the right answer. Huh? Why S? They used singular in the audio. Listen again.
The earliest examples of the labyrinth spiral pattern have been found carved into stone from Sardinia.
Carved into stone. They didn't say stones. When we talk about material, we use singular. Okay? All right. All right. Okay, so let's go on. Question number 36. Now see, in question before that, there is no question there. So please underline baskets. Pima and baskets. When they speak about baskets, what does it mean? Ethe pahunch gaye ne. Okay, now we've got question number 36. Ancient Greeks used the symbols on dash. Again, something like stone. Symbols on dash. Right? So let's see symbol on what? Symbol. Clue word is symbol.
In Europe, these spiral carvings date from the late Bronze Age. The Native American Pima tribe wove baskets with a circular labyrinth design that depicted their own cosmology. In ancient Greece, the labyrinth spiral was used on coins around 4,000 years ago.
On coins, exactly. The symbol on coins. Queecoins. Very simple. Question number 37. Walking labyrinths, the largest surviving example of turf labyrinth. It's the name of labyrinth. Turf labyrinth. Once had a big, underline this word. I've seen it many times in IELTS listening. Underline big. And listen, for big they will use the word large, huge, gigantic, enormous, anything like that. Okay, now whatever they say with big, that will be your answer. Large or whatever.
In Northern Europe, there were actual physical labyrinths designed for walking on. These were cut into the turf or grass, usually in a circular pattern.
One thing, sorry. Question number 37, then after the blank, they say at its center. Underline center. And for that, they will use the word in the middle. At its center, for that, in the middle. Now I play.
The origin of these walking labyrinths remains unclear, but they were probably used for fertility rites, which may date back thousands of years. 11 examples of turf labyrinths survive today, including the largest one at Saffron Walden, England, which used to have a large tree in the middle of it.
Which used to have a large tree. Large is not the answer. Answer is tree. Got it now? So part 4 is easier than part 3. Yeah, चलें शुक्र है को हंसिया ते सही काका. Good. हंसिया कर. मुश्किल में भी हंसा करो. मुश्किल आसान हो जाएगी. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Question number 38. Labyrinth nowadays. Now they are going to talk about the present labyrinth. Labyrinth nowadays believed to have a beneficial impact on mental and physical health. Labyrinth has effect on mental and physical health. For example, walking a maze can reduce a person's dash rate, heart rate. Why not? If you're walking it, it can reduce your heart rate. If your heart is beating fast, it can reduce your heart rate. Now listen, it's going to be something related to human. Heart rate, pulse rate, any rate, stress rate or anything like that. So underline the word persons. And one more thing, yes, underline can reduce. Now listen very carefully, very technical point. For can reduce, they usually use the word slower. S-L-O-W-E-R. Can reduce means slower. Now for example, they say slower heart rate. Slower heart rate means can reduce a person's heart and rate is already given. Okay. So let's see. Question number 38.
More recently, labyrinths have experienced something of a revival. Some believe that walking a labyrinth promotes healing and mindfulness, and there are those who believe in its emotional and physical benefits, which include slower breathing and a restored sense of balance and perspective.
Which includes slower breathing. Now, slower breathing means can reduce person's breathing rate. Slower breathing. Now, whenever in IELTS, either they use the word slower or they use the word can reduce, they can just replace with one or the other one. Okay. Now, we've got question number 39, and you can see there are 2 points. One point is used in medical and health fitness setting. Just underline prisons. Prisons. Okay, because when they speak about this option and when they use the word prison, you know they have reached here. Again, I'm telling you, tracking the audio is very important. That is why you can underline some of these hallmarks that, okay, now audio is here, now audio is here, now audio is here. So, question number 39. Popular with patients, visitors and staff in hospital. Patients who cannot take walk can use finger labyrinths made from material. Answer is material made from. Now they can, for example, now listen carefully. What is made from what? क्या चीज है जो बनी हुई है? No, labyrinth. Labyrinth made from. Again they will use the same thing. Bottle made from plastic, and they will use the word plastic bottle. I told you already. Cup made from ceramics. Ceramic cup. They are going to use the same thing. See that? It happened in part 1 and now it is happening in part 4.
This idea has become so popular that labyrinths have been laid into the floors of spas, wellness centres, and even prisons in recent years. A pamphlet at Colorado Children's Hospital informs patients that walking a labyrinth can often calm people in the midst of a crisis. And apparently, it's not only patients who benefit. Many visitors find walking a labyrinth less stressful than sitting in a corridor or waiting room. Some doctors even walk the labyrinth during their breaks. In some hospitals, patients who can't walk can have a paper finger labyrinth brought to their bed. The science behind the
Paper finger labyrinth. So labyrinth made from paper. Got it? Yeah, and there must be a couple of questions like this. Question number 40. Research has shown that Alzheimer's sufferers experience less, underline less. And again, I give you a technique. Okay, Alzheimer's sufferers experience less. All right, for less over here, they might use the word calm, relief. For example, now listen. We assume that answer is stress. Question number 40. We assume answer is stress. So they say here, research has shown that Alzheimer's sufferers experience less stress. For that, they use the word relief from stress. Relief from stress, like this. So let's see.
For example, one study found that walking a labyrinth provided short-term calming, relaxation and relief from anxiety for Alzheimer's patients.
Relaxation and relief from anxiety. So less anxiety, relief from anxiety. Correct answer is anxiety. Good.